What is up, friends? Takeover peeps, random person coming across this video. However you got here, I'm so happy to have you. We're here with another weekly wrap-up. That is the DMN Takeover's weekly talk show. We talk about a little bit of everything. Sports, sometimes video games, sports cards, music, whatever's on our mind. So thank you for hanging out today. I hope you all had a lovely week. Mine ruled. It was a little bit more chill than my prior weeks. I didn't have as much going on. My daughter, though, did have 2 choir concerts in 2 different cities over the weekend. So she was basically on a little mini tour of her own. She absolutely crushed it, though. And now she's really excited because we're rounding the corner into Halloween. I'm really excited. That means lots of candy. I am most excited for the Reese's Peanut Butter Pumpkins and Milky Ways. What about you? I'm still personally hashing out my Halloween costume. I'm not really sure. I might recycle my cowboy from last year, but my mother-in-law gave me this really cool, this is a baseball uniform from I think the 40s, maybe? One of her relatives wore that when they were playing. I'll have to look further into it, but she gave me that in case I wanted to wear it. I am a little concerned, though, about maybe getting something on it, so we'll see. But either way, it's really cool, and I'm gonna definitely do a little bit more study on what exactly that came from. Question of the day: what was your most favorite Halloween costume that you remember? For me, I particularly remember this one very snowy, it might have even been a snowstorm knowing Minnesota because we did not trick-or-treat for very long, but it's very memorable for me. I had a lot of fun. I still got a lot of candy. I was dressed as Spider-Man that year, and you know what? I would dress as Spider-Man again. Maybe I got a plan for that for the next year. But what about you? Was there a costume that you remember particularly that you enjoyed? Sports. We had a fun week 7 in the NFL. We had some great games, some exciting stuff, some surprise wins. The 2 big teams, Kansas City and Philly, they remain on top. They played super well. I'll get a little bit more into those games later. My 2 teams, the Baltimore Ravens and the Minnesota Vikings, played outstandingly this week. The Niners were upset by the Vikings on Monday Night Football, and the Ravens handed it to the Lions. I think it was 38-6 was the score on Sunday, which set it up nicely for the Vikings to win. Now the Vikings are showing a little bit more sign of life now after that win, and it was a surprising win, to be honest. They were without Justin Jefferson, and given the Niners had a hobbled Christian McCaffrey, they were missing Deebo Samuel, but Justin Jefferson is one of the biggest pieces in Minnesota offensively, and rookie Jordan Addison stepped up so well to fill that role. Addison caught 7 passes for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. That also meant that Kirk Cousins had a great day. Kirk Cousins completed 35 of 45 passes for 378 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also did throw an interception. As for the Ravens game, though, just completely dismantling the Lions. Lamar Jackson threw some beautiful passes, and his receivers were actually catching them this week, which is outstanding. Lamar finished 21-27 for 357 yards and 3 touchdowns. He also ran for 1 on the ground and did not throw any interceptions. There were a couple of rookie receivers this week that had outstanding games. Puka Nacua continues to just be a top-tier receiver in year 1. He caught 8 catches for 154 yards. And then Colts rookie receiver Josh Downs had himself a game. He caught 5 for 125 yards and a touchdown to go along with it. And that was all with Gardner Minshew at quarterback, as they're missing their rookie quarterback, Anthony Richardson, for the rest of the year. I mentioned that the Eagles and the Chiefs won their games and remain at the top pretty much of everything. They just look like great squads out there. And in the Kansas City game particularly, the Swifties rejoiced as Travis Kelce had an amazing game. Caught a whopping 12 passes for 179 yards and a touchdown. Now, you can't be catching all those passes without your quarterback having a great game as well. Patrick Mahomes dominated. He passed for 424 yards and 4 TDs. On the day of recording this, we're also into the first games of the NBA season. I'm just so excited for this year. The rookies excite me a lot. Damian Lillard being on the Bucks excites me. I'm interested to see what Jordan Poole does in Washington now as the top guy. I mean, he's a great shooter, but that team needs a turnaround for sure. There's just a lot of exciting stuff. What can Anthony Edwards do? Can he gel even more? Can Cat and Gobert just go off for Minnesota this year? There's just so many storylines that I'm excited for. I just wanted to pause and take a second quick to invite you to join the Takeover Marketplace. If you don't know me very well, I sell sports cards on Twitter/X full-time under DMN Takeover. And I do these weekly sales. I pop in 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, but I also have a Takeover Marketplace. Now that's hosted on an app called District, and I'd like to invite you to join. The information will be in the description notes for this video and a link you can follow. But if you want to be a seller on there with me, the fees are less than places like eBay and other sites you can sell on, and it only takes 30 seconds to send an application, and I will read over that, get you started really quick, and it's really easy and streamlined way to list items and sell them. I also push out all of your listings on my socials to help them sell, and I'd love to have you be a part of it. In sports cards, I don't have any news right now, but I did want to just talk really quick about something that I've been seeing a lot more of that makes me happy. I've been seeing more and more people find their joy, the things that really make them happy. I feel like for a little bit there, it was collectively all about the money. Now that's not every single person, and here's the thing. I'm a business owner. It has to be at least a little bit, well, a lot of bit about the money. But I have always told myself, if I'm also not joyful in the thing I'm doing, I'm going to move on to something else. So if I didn't have joy in collecting sports cards, collectibles in general, you wouldn't see me selling them. I'm just someone who, I want to also be passionate about my work. I don't want to just be taking money in a certain community, grouping, niche, whatever, unless I'm also passionate about that. So I constantly make sure that I still love collecting things, and I do. So that's why I'm still here. But all that to say, for a lot of us, we're also business owners, so it does have to be about the money, but we are also collectors too. And yes, both of those things can exist at once, despite what some people on the internet say. But for a while there, when we came out of, being closed down for the pandemic and stuff, and we saw certain collectibles shoot up in prices, especially sports cards, I found a lot of people flocking towards things that I knew they didn't actually enjoy, that they weren't passionate about. And who can blame them, okay? For a little bit, it felt like we were printing money, but that doesn't last forever. And now there's a lot of people who are stuck with things that they never wanted in the first place. They're kind of left holding the bag. But I'm seeing more and more of those people turn towards what they do enjoy and switch over to, maybe they took a loss on that stuff, but getting it out of there and getting the things that they truly want to hold on to. And I think that's a beautiful thing because, it's kind of like the Marie Kondo way of doing it though, right? It's like finding what around you actually brings you joy and getting rid of the rest, because the rest is just excess at that point. And it can lead to burnout, okay? That's the thing. There are some people who have burnt out, and for those people, maybe the happiest thing they can do is to step away from collecting for a while, or maybe it is a forever thing for them. But that's not everyone. A lot of people, it's just shifting. And I've seen people passionately shift into what they like, and I really love that. With that said, I thought that it would be really cool to start showing a piece from my collection that personally brings me joy in each of these weekly wrap-ups, one by one. It won't always be sports. Sometimes it might be a video game. Sometimes it might be sports cards or memorabilia or just some random, could be like a 90s toy, I don't know. But today it does happen to be sports. My first personal collection item that brings me joy that I'd like to show you is this Deion Sanders signed Baltimore Ravens helmet. Now, I've made a video about this on the channel before, so if you want to see this in detail, you can go watch that. It was a random act of kindness gift from my friend Mr. K-Dub on Twitter. That's MRKDUB, and a bunch of other people. There was a note in there that listed all the people that were a part of it, that contributed, but K-Dub hosted making this happen. So if you want to see that list of official people that did that and hear me talk about it more, you can go watch that video back on my channel. But there's so much that I love about this. First of all, have always been a big Deion Sanders fan. And how cool is it now that he's a coach of a college team that a lot of the world seems to care about? But this was before that. I'm a Deion Sanders fan, I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan, and I'm a fan of moments when players are on a team that they're not well known for. For example, Deion Sanders is best known as a Dallas Cowboy. He also played for Washington, he also played for Atlanta, he also played for San Francisco. But after retiring, he came back to the NFL and became a Baltimore Raven for just a little bit. And I love that this is a player that I enjoy on a team that I love, and it happens to be the team he's not most known for. I just think that's really cool. So this sits on my shelf. This is one of my personal collection items that will stick with me, that brings me joy. I'm excited to show you some of my other stuff over the next weekly wrap-ups. Stuff that slaps. A light breeze. Sounds and sensations are something that we all enjoy, or at least most of us. It's something that I personally enjoy a lot, especially when they happen in nature. As I was writing the wrap-up for today, I sat outside on my balcony and watched the sunrise. Shout out to a prior Takeover TV conversation. Did you watch one? A sunrise or a sunset in the last Stuff That Slaps? Not the last one, the one before that. That doesn't matter. I was sitting out there and a light breeze was blowing on me and I thought, how beautiful. I just love the way that it dances across my skin and filters through my hair, and it just feels good. It feels comforting. It feels like home. It feels grounding, and it feels energizing all at the same time. But what I also love is the sound that the breeze makes as it interacts with other things. The sound of it blowing through the leaves and the trees, maybe against flowers or plants on the ground or even the grass. Maybe you can hear it just a little bit, but the sound as it comes through is just so beautiful to me and relaxing. It carries so much softness and stillness even in its movement, and it reminds me to personally stay grounded and to breathe. It's just such a beautiful thing. So a light breeze is a certified slapper. Music pick. I'm going with the song Rhythm of the Night by the artist Corona. Actually, the band. So here's what happened. Corona is an Italian Eurodance band from the 90s that was originally formed from a Brazilian singer and model named Olga Maria de Souza, along with a producer named Francesco Bontempi. Bontempi would eventually leave, but not before helping make this song, and multiple other new members would take their place. This song is just so catchy and upbeat and energizing. I mean, this had to have played in NBA stadiums in the 90s. It's like teetering on jock jams. Not quite though, but it sounds so like, let's get pumped up, warming up for the game. Or the dancers may be dancing to it at a halftime show. Maybe you're at a 90s game and heard this song. I don't have a whole lot to add. I just feel good when I hear this song. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel energetic. It makes me dance like a fool around my house when I'm alone. And that kind of stuff I just love musically. Go take a listen and see if you recognize it. I honestly think that you probably will. Last but not least, I just want to thank you so much. It's been so much fun making these weekly wrap-ups, and they're going to continue going. I'm going to continue developing them. I'm going to continue adding different segments, playing with things, seeing what sticks, seeing what I like, seeing what you like. And I'm always open to any suggestions, so please let me know if you have any. I'd like to also invite you every Friday morning. I am streaming video games live on Twitter/X around 10 a.m. is when I try to start. So I'd love to hang out with you guys. It's a good time to just chill, play video games, and chat. So that's all I got for this week, friends. I appreciate you guys so much. I love you. Peace and love.